We now move on to the next vital session of this evening. Success is best celebrated when we are appreciated and awarded. And it is now time to call on stage for the award ceremony. Let me now take the honor of inviting Head of the Award Committee, Moderator G. Vijaya Raghavan, Charter Member of TiE Kerala, Director of Asian School of Business. He is also the member of Kerala State Planning Board and founder CEO of Technopark Trivandrum. He is a present member Kerala State Planning Board. He is the promoter president, VMA Consultants Private Limited, and is the honorable director of NISH since 1997. He is the president of International Association of Science Park since 1996. Thank you so much for being present here. I'll also welcome A.V. George, the president of TiE Kerala and chairman AVG Group of Companies, to come to the dais, sir. Also requesting Mr. M.S.A. Kumar.
I request Mr. Ashok Rao to please join us, because he would be the one who is giving the awards in the presence of both of them here. So the first award to be announced today would be the Startup Entrepreneur of the Year, the TiE Startup Entrepreneur of the Year 2014. Malayalam thing which says about police. Okay, well, anyway, the thing is that you have this gentleman who's an engineer from IIT Kanpur. He then goes on to become in the top 5% of his class at the Wharton Business School, joins McKinsey in New York, and then he quits that, joins the private equity firm New Silk Route. In fact, that seems to be quite a big career. Okay? Oh, I forgot to tell you, he actually, after his IIT, he joined the Indian Police Service. He grew within the Indian Police Service to be the Police Commissioner of Trivandrum. And I personally believe he should probably have stayed on, retired, and then become, one of those retired DGPs, very comfortable life. But he quits his IPS job. He quits the McKinsey job. He quits the PE sector. He returns to Trivandrum and starts an online education startup called Course Brew. The innovative content creation that he's done, the kind of delivery models he's talking about, and Course Brew is today a fast-growing company, finding interest with angels and VC funds. The TiE Startup Entrepreneur Award 2014 goes to Mr. Rajan Singh, CEO, Course Brew. Rajan Singh, please. What is it that actually made the committee, which really choose Rajan Singh was basically, it's a completely different notion on what we have about startups. A lot of us think that startups are fresh out of college. Rajan's story also is about the courage and persistence to follow on his dreams. And he's at a very senior position in government. He decides to quit and come on. And then, we talk about, he says that, for us, I think one of the big messages which Rajesh, myself, and the senior members of the TiE, among the TiE charter members wanted, was to give that message that even when you're working very senior in life, you can still really start up something. So congratulations, Rajan. And just a couple of questions. Can I have a microphone? What I wanted to ask him is, if he had not quit the IPS, you'd have this, today an Innova, earlier an Ambassador car with a blue light on top coming in, a lot of policemen around. Okay, you'd what have been an Inspector General of Police today, if you had continued with this?
So I think the honest answer is, in life you need to decide what you're looking for. And yeah, so had I been in the police, I would have been IGP and all those things that you talked about. But I think for me, personally, all that show and glamour or so-called, those things probably, I mean, at that point in time, not that I didn't mind that, That is not what I was looking for. Ultimately, what we want to do is do something which we personally find meaningful. And for me, that is well worth the, if you call it a sacrifice, it's well worth the sacrifice.
Every B school graduate
Yeah.
wants to get into McKinsey. You got into
Yeah.
McKinsey not in India, not anywhere else. You got into McKinsey into the United States.
Yeah.
Okay? You quit that, you joined a PE investment.
Yeah.
And then you quit that to start something of your own.
Yeah.
What are the big changes there?
I think yes, all those decisions here were somewhat crazy, and I mean, everybody questioned it. I think the thing that we all think about is always try to look at, what's the risk and what's the reward. And in my mind, the biggest risk we can take is to live a life which we did not live as we wanted to. And I think a life where you have regrets about not having tried something, I think that risk is bigger than risk of anything else. And I mean, there are people here with thousands of crores, and I remember at one point of time when I was doing my MBA, I'm really serious, I had 1 month, I had just $90 in my bank left. So money can come and go, things can come and go, but one thing which cannot change is you have just one shot at life,
And
At some point, we'll all be gone.
Make the best of it.
Yeah,
is it?
make the best of it.
One more question.
Yeah.
What did your wife say? What did your parents say? What did your in-laws say? I mean, everyone wants to get their, a lot of people, at least we know big businessmen in Kerala want to get their daughters married off to this IAS officer or IPS officer. They go to any extent to get that done. What was the kind of reaction at home? Your wife, I know she's a very senior IAS officer with government.
Yeah.
What did she say? What did your parents say? What did your in-laws say?
So first time my wife said no, she was horrified. So basically her reaction was, look, you drag us from, so she was a collector at Trivandrum. And because I chose to go abroad, she could not finish her stint. Actually, she did just 1 year as collector. So in some sense, I kind of wrecked her career. So she says, you dragged us to the US, then you went to McKinsey, then you did this. I mean, at some point, where does it all end? But I kept pestering, I think it took a year. Finally, she said, if that's what makes you happy, just go and do it.
Parents?
Parents, my in-laws were very, they were upset, as it is, a long time back for very, so I think they probably got used to it, but on a serious note, she didn't tell them that I've left the job.
Is it?
Yeah, we told them probably after 8 months or 12 months or whatever. My parents, they kind of know me, so I think they were okay with that.
You come from Rajasthan?
No, actually, I belong to UP.
UP?
Yeah.
Why did you do Trivandrum?
No, so this was in the Indian Police Service, or for that matter, all Indian services, you get assigned to
No. Why did you decide to do your company out of
Oh,
Trivandrum?
okay.
You could have gone to Delhi.
No. I think partly it was, I worked here and like this place and know people. Second, also my wife is in the cadres, she's working here. So I think both personal and family reasons, and beautiful place. So, yeah.
Thank you very much, Raja. Thank you very much. Please wait, we'll call you up to stage later on. But congratulations and keep up what you're doing. The next category is the Thai Emerging Entrepreneur of the Year 2014. He started as an agricultural, he specialized in agriculture, trained as an agriculturist, and then he went on to do his MBA from, he got into rural marketing. Then he started off working initially with some of the large cooperative firms, IFCO and others. On seeing the power of, while he was working with them, he started with working with self-help groups. On seeing the power of that, he started a microfinance institution, which focused on evangelizing among the thousands of women across Kerala, and now they are all over the south. He's a deeply spiritual person. He believes that a company can do well by doing good. A company can do well by doing good. His model of microfinance helps to create self-help groups or sangams, which creates entrepreneurs every day. In fact, he has empowered hundreds of women to earn a livelihood, and a significant number of his field officers are also women. The award for the Thai Emerging Entrepreneur of the Year 2014 goes to Paul Thomas, Managing Director, ESAF Microfinance, the Evangelical Social Action Force. What made us select him was basically the very sustainable improvement that he had made with the self-help groups, very clear determination on what he wanted to do, and also they are known for very responsible financial, the kind of financial systems that they do. And the kind of projects which they have supported are things like building sanitation facilities in villages. So a lot of very good work, and I think the core guiding philosophy of the firm is to do well by doing good, and believing that the multiplier effect of creating young entrepreneurs like this, which has been very good. Just a couple of quick questions. How do you're known to be a very spiritual kind of a person. How do you mix this spiritual part and this business part?
It's a difficult question, but I would say my spiritual part led me to this social business, actually. I'm a strong believer of God, and I became a follower of Jesus while I was in the university. Then I realized that believing in God means helping the poor. That is mandatory, otherwise my faith is invalid.
How many women have benefited from this scheme today? How many do you have?
Currently, we have 700,000 women across 7 states of India.
And what makes you different from the government-sponsored self-help groups like Kudumbasri?
Yeah, we started our self-help group program in 1995, and in Kerala, Kudumbasri started in 1998. The difference is all the capital expense, operating expense, all come from treasury in the government program. And in our program, we have to make everything. We have to find our own capital. We have to make ourselves sustainable to continue into the business.
What drives you?
See, actually, India, 50% of India population doesn't have formal access to financial services. And almost 30% of our population lives in less than $1 a day. So I have a pressure on me. I have a strong calling to reach out to these people. And if you ask me today what drives me, I wanted to reach out another 5 years' time, 2 million families. That's my dream. And also, we started working on becoming a small finance bank now. That's our dream.
Thank you very much.
That drives me.
Thank you very much, and congratulations again on being awarded the tie and Pranava this year.
Thank you, sir.
The next category is the Woman Entrepreneur of the Year. She never worked anywhere before that, okay? She founded her company in 1995. They specialized in women's wear. And then she moved further and then got into the manufacture of innerwear for women. And this is a very, very, as most people, very competitive area. In fact, you have large multinationals working in that area. They started becoming a leader there. In fact, her creations launched innerwear for women under the brand name Vanessa. And what's really made a difference is the keen sense of branding and delivering high-quality products, which is what made V-Star increasingly popular. She later on introduced innerwear for kids. She did it for men, and then she dropped the men part. I don't know. We'll probably ask her why they dropped the Valero brand. And then they actually started creating all kinds of collections that were there, and it was very specialized. Today, they have 22 manufacturing companies across India, 16 of them in Kerala, and the company also arranges units run by, a lot of products are manufactured at the units which are run by charitable institutions where a lot of women are employed. The award for Thai Woman Entrepreneur of the Year 2014 goes to Sheila Kochause. Please. What made us choose her for this award was basically the keen sense of branding in a very, very competitive area. And there's a lot of branding that they did. Probably not many companies in Kerala have focused on that. The second one was the calculated launch of products which were aligned with the kind of campaigns which came up after that. Her keen interest in the development of women and finding means to support charitable causes there. the role model in the form of a work-life balance where she managed a husband who manages thousands of people with a very large company, and then 2 sons who are both managing directors of companies. Couple of small questions. How do you manage these 3 highly busy professionals and then manage your company also at the same time?
Actually, all of them are busy with their business, and they all know I was a mere housewife, and I started very late. Once my children, they could look after themselves, and so I was a housewife. So I think for a woman, it's not a big challenge to look after the house and husband, children. And once their children are grown up, they have to diversify their fancies.
When you started V-Star,
Yeah.
you had Mr. Kochausep had Viga Land, Wonderla was there, V-Guard was there. Why didn't you just get into one of those businesses and help him run it rather than why did you want to set up a completely different company yourself?
Yeah, when I started my business, Wonderla was not there, only Vigard was there.
Okay.
I went there to help him for 1 year, but I found it very boring because it was, because it was our electronics and electrical, which it was like Greek to me.
Okay.
So I told him, I can't contribute anything here because everything was running very smoothly, so I had nothing to contribute. So I said, this is not my place. And I said, I want to start something on my own. And my father had a textile and jewelry shop. Okay. So I was very familiarized with textiles and fabrics and yarns, everything. And I studied home science as my subject for graduation. In that, one paper was textiles and clothing. So I thought, and I was very much interested in stitching from very young age. I think when I was in 8th and 9th, I used to stitch my dresses. Okay. And we had, I was the 11th child in my family, and my mother and everybody, we had a lot of freedom, unlike today's children, because I used to stitch on the machine when I was 12 years. I don't think.
So it was there, part of your bringing, the family was in business.
Yes.
You then come in later in life to get into something very similar.
It was my hobby, and I didn't start my business for money because I had all comforts of life.
Just one, what gives you happiness? What makes you very happy?
I am a person who cannot sit idle. I want to be busy. And creativity is my passion. So I used to do some creative thing every day. So then I thought, okay, why not start some business with my creativity?
Good. Thank you very much,
You're
and
welcome.
congratulations again on becoming the Thai Woman Entrepreneur of the Year 2014. Thank you very much.
so much.
Thank you.
I thank Thai for bestowing this prestigious award to me. Thank you all.
Thank you very much. The next in the series is the Thai Entrepreneur of the Year Award 2014. A zoologist by training, he then went on to do his MBA from CUSAT. He started his 3rd company. Okay, his first company was into a little bit of manufacturing, which he got with some government support, did it. The second one was into some kind of trading. He started his 3rd company 25 years ago in partnership with 2 others. And then he built an organization which has thrived and broken new ground over the years. They today operate with projects in more than 10 cities in Kerala. He has focused on interesting innovations, including the transit houses in 5 cities, a very creative loyalty program for his kind of business. You normally think of loyalty programs on retail, but never in capital investment kind of programs, very innovative program there. And his organization also won several awards, including the CNBC Awaaz Award. The award for Thai Entrepreneur of the Year 2014 goes to Abdul Aziz, Managing Director, Skyline Builders. why did we choose Abdul Aziz for this? I think during the discussions, a very completely clean image. Okay, in an industry which is marred by all kinds of controversies on land grabbing, illegal practices, land encroachment, constant bickering by the clients, a lot of malpractices. But this was somebody who had a very clean image in that sector. A lot of satisfied customers who were again and again making investments in the Skyline projects which came up. An active part that you play in the social sector and also in industrial associations like REDI. And the impressive growth and the kind of innovative projects that you came about. And actually, just a couple of questions before we stop. One is, how did you manage to keep this clean image and get out of, not be part of scandals and all kinds of stuff? If you're in real estate and you're in buildings, you have to violate rules, you have to, how did you do that without getting into all these things?
First of all, see, basically home is a dream. See, basically.
In here? Yeah, good, good, good.
Right from your childhood, you have a dream of a home. So that is mostly basically it's close to your heart, and it's an emotional product. That is one part of it. Number two is that the product is a virtual product. So when we offer the product, it's a virtual product, and it's costing 30, 40, 50 lakhs, 1 crore, 3 crores, and you don't have product there. And you hardly find one product. You just tell me one product which you sell without even having a model with you. So that is where the trust comes into. So you're putting all your...
But how did you manage without these scandals, and how did you manage without encroaching land?
We've been very clear right from the beginning that like you're putting your life's earning like 30, 40, 50 lakh, crore or two, whatever it is. And unless you deliver, you're going to be in trouble. I'm talking about the client. So you got to be very, very careful that when you're handling with somebody else's money, it's not your own money. Yes, okay, you put in money 20, 30%, but 70% comes from the client. And there's life's earning. So you go to deliver. That's very important. That's number one. Number two is that, is the transparency. Is that because you're offering a lot of things you're promising is. So you go to fulfill their promises. So that's very, very important. That's why I thought, see, the two things I always talk to my staff is, one is that you promise what you can deliver and deliver what you promise. This has a two terms I always talk to people. You promise what you can deliver. So if you can do it, nothing to worry about it. So
good message for entrepreneurs of today.
Yeah, that is.
It's the same in whether it's a service or a product. The other one is, I think you're third generation in business.
Yeah.
But, and there were so many businesses in the family.
Right.
But you didn't go to any of that. You decided to set up something of your own.
Yeah, right.
First, second, even the third one was something which had nothing to do with the family business. Why did that? Why did you do that?
The reason is because normally what happens is now that I am from a business community back in Calicut, Malabar area. So generally, routine practice is there. The youngsters, they go to school. They just somehow they pass out SSLC. They want to do some 2 years at least in college because Chetti Nadakanal youngsters. They do it. They invariably they fail and they get into the family business. And all are happy. Both are happy. The guy is the youngster is happy and the family is happy. So in my case, somehow I don't know for maybe fortunately I was maybe a little above average intelligence, maybe whatever it is. I could pass this pre-degree. Then graduation, then I got into a management school and got out of it. Then I realized something is totally, because they teach a lot of things like world, they talk about those days McDonald's, you talk about US steel, how they brought it. Those days they very encouraging. We thought you should do something totally different. So I came back. I said, no, I don't want to join my family because my father. I really appreciate my father because normally what happens is normally those days youngsters, those vacation days, the parents ask you to come, the father asks you to come and sit in the shop. Okay, then get some allowance also. So my father never ever asked me to come to the shop. Okay, so I was totally free to do whatever I feel like.
So basically your father supported you in getting there. Congratulations on winning the Entrepreneur of the Year 2014. Congratulations. Thank you very much everyone for part of this. It's a big honor. I think it's probably the second time that TAI is doing it, and a lot of people look up to this award as probably the only entrepreneurship award given by industry in Kerala. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much once again, and congratulations to all the winners out here. and it's time for entertainment. But before that, I'd like to thank each one of you for being present here and making this event a beautiful one. And today we're going to wind up with today's session, and tomorrow we're going to meet you at 9:30 a.m. So until tomorrow, this is me, Pujita Menon, saying good night to each one of you.